It's beer o'clock on Royale craft beer. Sainsbury's have dropped another batch of canned craft beer onto us. 440 millilitre cans. They're all coming in they're all coming in at £3.50 actually. We had £10.25 off because it was like a 4 for 3 nectar card thing. I didn't have a nectar card, so I asked the kind lady behind me, sweet little old lady, if I could borrow a nectar card. I was kind of frantically trying to sign up for it and wasn't having it. So I think the more you're under pressure in a queue to sort something like that out, the more you can feel the eyes of the customers staring at you. So I said, can I use your nectar? And she was like, yeah. So she dabbed it and she knocked the £10 off for me, which is lovely. Thank you very much. Remember the simple days of you just used to have a 3 for 2 without having to have an app or give your telephone number and address and everything else, email. Anyway, so these are the beers in Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's seem to be the last remaining supermarket that is really engaging heavily in craft beer releases. And I think that's because Sainsbury's were last to the game. Tesco's were first. Tesco's have now checked out. You don't see next to nothing new coming into Tesco's anymore. In fact, Tesco's craft beer aisle is kind of like, they hedged their bets really big on craft beer. It never really worked out. They've reduced it back down to kind of one section of the aisle. It used to be two section of shelving. Waitrose had a good go at it. Didn't really work out for them either. Morrison's, Asda do a little bit. Morrison's have kind of stopped too. They used to have like these kind of fall, it's American, isn't it? These autumn and spring releases for craft beers. So Sainsbury's are the last people to do it. This is what we have. I will be very honest with you. It wasn't the most inspiring selection of beers that I've ever picked up. I picked them up, of course, for review. Call it research if you want. But there's a lot of tropical IPA here. And it's kind of made me go a little bit, because it's all kind of... We'll work out what tropical IPA is when we have a look at the back of the cans, shall we? So we're going to start off by looking at Salt. Let Me Be Your Galaxy Hazy IPA, 6% ABV. Water, malted barley, oats, wheat and hops plus yeast, 6%. Bingley Road salt. They used to be really good salt with their craft beers. Their Huckerback used to be fantastic. Probably still is. I think it's still available in Tesco in some stores. They then did that awful salt hooch beer recently, which really got on my nerves, because that's where essentially I think that's where craft beer's heading. Craft beer, especially supermarket craft beer. You have a look at some of these beers now. Tell me the real difference between hooch, which is a kind of a lemon alcoholic drink, and some of these peach and mango infused beers. There's not that much of a difference really. Next up we have Mad Squirrel Big C IPA, 5.5% ABV. Mad Squirrel, nice people. I met them at Brew London about 2 years ago in their kind of van that was converted into a bar. Lovely people. Full Circle Brew Co, the Butterfly Effect Hazy IPA, 6.2% ABV. Barley and Oats, that's the allergies in the beer. They're based in Newcastle. I think one of the biggest breweries to kind of suffer that kind of... They really went down that route, that road of kind of sweety imperial stouts, like they did the whole kind of celebrations type thing. Bounty imperial stouts and Mars and Twixes, and it didn't go down very well with the people who were buying the beer, but it just wasn't that good. Kind of infused IPAs with mango and passion fruit, lots of sweet beer. Vocation, I think, have suffered that. I mean, they made the choice to do it. It was their choice to make these beers. Nobody kind of forced their hand to do it. It was their decision. But I think they've suffered from that, Vocation. I've really not seen much in the way of Vocation craft beer in supermarkets in the last 12 months or so. This is a Mojito cocktail sour, 4.5% ABV. I'm gonna drop on this one first. I'm gonna leave the Tiny Rebel stuff because I got something to say about Tiny Rebel as well. This is Two Tribes. This is their Dancer Tropical IPA, 6.2% ABV. Oh, here we go. Full-bodied notes of mango, passion fruit, and peach. This was the problem. I think this is what happened to Tesco and Morrison's. I think people were like, another tropical IPA, another beer that tastes of passion fruit and mango and peach. I think people got really fed up with that kind of infusion of concentrates. But again, Sainsbury's are really the holdouts. I wondered if this might be Sainsbury's last real kind of foray into this kind of big launch of craft beer. I wondered if we're going to see the end of that too. Not that I want to see the end of it. I always like to see new beers in supermarkets, but maybe kind of like up the quality a little bit. It was nice in Sainsbury's to look the other side of so you had the cans in front of me and you had the lagers behind me. You had Spaten there from Germany. Lots of great kind of continental beers on the shelves there. So Sainsbury's doing a good job of like giving you a choice, I suppose, of great German lagers, Czech lagers, and some of this stuff here if you want it. So Polly's Floret Extra Pale Ale, 4.2% ABV, £3.50 a can. I hope this is going to be really good. I hope this is going to be really good for 4.2% ABV. I think £3.50 is quite a lot if it's not that great. Vault City. I've not reviewed a Vault City beer in probably 3 years. I kind of like thought that Vault City were their modern, they're still calling it modern sour beer. I thought a lot of people kind of like seen what Vault City were doing and they jumped on the bandwagon with all of this kind of fruit puree infused beer, and it just wasn't my cup of tea, so I stopped reviewing their beer. I actively stopped buying Vault City. This is an 8% ABV Blackcurrant Royale. I like the look of the can. I just chucked it in the trolley. I thought, I've not drank a beer from them for about 3 years. Let's give it a go. Let's see where they are this day and age. Now to come to the kind of like the big boys in kind of like the craft beer scene in the supermarket, if you like. So I'm going to start off. We got one beer now. Northern Monk's Splashdown Tropical IPA. Look at the grimace. Look at the grimace on my face. I mean, oh. Mango, pineapple and passion fruit flavours. Oh, blimey. They used to be so good, didn't they, Northern Monk? They used to be such a great brewery. Absolutely fantastic brewery, as did the likes of kind of Brewdog as well. This is another tropical double IPA, look. 440 milliliter can. This is called Wingman, brewed for the bold, 7.2% ABV. Again, grimace on my face, kind of like, you're probably asking the question, why have you bought it then? If you're grimacing and stuff, why have you bothered buying it? Well, it's how this kind of channel evolved into where it is today, isn't it? We review beer on YouTube. If I was to ignore this beer and not give my opinion, then surely you want my opinion on this beer. A lot of you will probably be nodding your heads in agreement with all of this tropical IPA and this hazy IPA. Some of you might love it and might completely disagree with me, but this is the world we're living in, isn't it? This is what, you know, you can watch or you can tune out. So another one, Rocky Road Marshmallow Stout, 6.8% ABV, 440 milliliter can. Rocky Road. Can you imagine Brewdog producing this beer back in 2011? A Rocky Road Stout. And a brewery very close to me, Newport, South Wales. Probably I can get there in the car in 25 minutes. Used to be fantastic as a brewery. Great double IPAs, great IPAs, great red ales, fantastic stouts, fantastic barrel-aged stouts. They were a great brewery. But here we are. This is Tiny Rebel Colourway King Double IPA. Can you see the flow? Can you see where all of this is going? It's all so very blooming similar, isn't it? Colourway King Double IPA. I hope it's good. It hasn't got the word tropical. It hasn't got like, well, it's got a palm tree. That there's not. They haven't put tropical anywhere on this can, and they've not mentioned passion fruit or mango anywhere on this can. So I've got my fingers crossed for this one. Might be a West Coast. Tiny Rebel Scarlet Cherry Amaretto Sour, 5.5% ABV. Yeah, and that's it. That's a look at the beers. So, yeah, I was kind of putting them in my trolley, like, like, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe this will be the last kind of venture of Sainsbury's in kind of doing this. Morrison's have stopped. Asda have more or less stopped. Tesco have definitely stopped with these big beer drops because they just, if they were selling, they would carry on. Then obviously they can't be selling. And if Tesco are reducing their shelving of craft beer, canned craft beer, it's obviously not selling. Maybe Sainsbury's are onto something. I don't know. Maybe everyone's like, oh yeah, let's go to Sainsbury's for our tropical IPA. I don't know. But I even spoke to the guy putting it on the shelf. And we talked, he was on about Flowers Original, which he liked, and he was talking about great lagers and whatnot. And I said, what do you think about it? He said it's a right mess. That was his words. A right mess, he said. He said this is just so far away from beer that, and I got to be honest, I agreed with him. I was stood there agreeing with him, and he's probably wondering why I got a trolley full of this stuff. yeah, and I got a trolley full of the stuff, and you know, all of these in my trolley. He's probably wondering, well, if you're agreeing with me, why haven't you got a trolley full of Spaten or Franciscana, Paulaner, Budvar? It is what it is. It is what it is. These beers will be coming to my channel shortly, next few weeks, when I can fit them in. I like doing the out and abouts now as well. I like doing the out and abouts. I like doing the battle videos. I like to do a lot of this kind of tourism stuff now on the channel. Getting out there, getting to see the world with my camera. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.